Hello everyone, this is part 42 of What If Naruto Learned the Secret of Shadow Clone, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Within the Yuki district, as it was coming to be known by the family and the Uzumaki clan, Hana had made sure their resort would be the talk of not only Uchiha but also all of the elemental nations if she could help it. So they had painstakingly worked not only with Naruto but also the Chinook clan with customized furnishings, large inviting baths and comfortable and luxurious rooms fit for nobles and world leaders from every corner of the world. They still planned on only offering their services to Uchiha and their allies for now, but one day who knew? Maybe they would have the chance to open up to even the Five Great Cage. Today they had settled the Uzumaki clan within what they had dubbed the Shadow Suite. Large and open themed, it featured multiple rooms, a large sitting and greeting area, and a nearly swimming pool-sized outdoor bath naturally decorated with sitting rocks, bamboo sidings, large bath-side seating areas and what looked like an outdoor shower. The master bedroom also features a smaller indoor bath for a more intimate setting, but considering who they were building this room while thinking of, they had no doubts that it would be used by no less than 5 people, ever. So while the bathhouse at large was still mostly empty save the Uzumaki and Team 7, the Yuki still treated it as a dry run for when they opened for business. This also meant, thankfully for the Uzumaki, that they could continue their traditions for the day. This is the life. Naruto was relaxed in the large outdoor bath, something he was finding he would never be able to give up if he could help it. Hey, from street kid to national leader. Some glow up for him, huh? Next to him Sasuke sighed and sank down to his shoulders, arms linked behind his head as he sighed with his eyes closed. You said it. To think you've been enjoying this while you were gone. You've been holding out on us. Well, now you're here, so bust my balls later. HN. Sakura rolled her eyes from where she and many of the Uzumaki women were sitting together and relaxing, trading stories and catching each other up on what they had missed in each other's lives. To think you both are powerful shinobi and clan leaders. Hinata giggled from next to her, something to think about, isn't it? Sakura accepted a drink from Karen, who then went on to serve Honoka. Right now, they give off too lazy of an air for me to believe it. Relaxing and taking a sip of her drink, her eyebrows raised at the fruity sake she had been given. Her eyes trailed to the still relaxing Naruto. What did you do with Kakashi-sensei? You mean after I sent a clone to go pick up Shizune? They buggered off to who knows where. The Yuki clan is taking care of them. Naruto wasn't selfish. He wanted all of his family and friends to relax and have a good time. He had extended an offer to Tsunade, but she had declined for now. He'd get her here eventually for sure. I did tell him he and Shizune could hang out with us. Sasuke shook his head, eyes still closed as he enjoyed the hot waters. You know Kakashi wouldn't join us. A hand waved lazily to the group of women before them, especially with everyone here. Sakura nods, plus, I'm sure Shizune-senpai wants some alone time as well. Hopefully with some time here in Azu it would be another point towards helping convince the joint master Tsunade to migrate with them. Leave Konoha behind in their old ways. Besides, we have some catching up to do anyway, Jen and Naruto. Grunting, Naruto finally looked at his teammate. I have a bad feeling about how you addressed me. Sasuke couldn't help but smirk. While you were away, we took and passed the next Chunin exams. No issues this time, almost like a certain idiot jinxed us. Like I had anything to do with Orochi team crashing our exam and letting Shikaku loose on Konoha. Naruto grumbled some more before grinning at him, but congratulations all the same. You both earned it. Sakura nods as the girls next to her chat about baby names. Ever think about taking the exam yourself? You're still technically ranked as a genin. Shrugging, Naruto could admit that he hadn't thought about it at all since leaving Konoha. What use was a ranking when he regularly smacked the shit out of everyone him came across? I'm a Kage, who cares what my official on paper rank is? Technically I can cheat the system and change it myself. Crossing her arms under her bust, Sakura grunted at that. Now that's just not fair. Why not make yourself a jonin while you're at it? Maybe I will. I mean, you think the Sannin are going to admit that they got their asses kicked by a genin? I think I'm safe. Naruto chuckled with his friends, before his ears and senses prickled as a small group walked into their room. Hey Ta-chan, Ino-chan. Kayuki, Kotohime, welcome. You have Amaru with you. The mentioned group walks out, most clad in towels while Ino was happy to flaunt herself. The group currently in the water greeted everyone while Amaru hesitated and took in the view. When the girls had convinced her to come along, she hadn't expected to find the men here as well. They had explained Uchiha's tradition for bathing, but seeing and living it was a different thing. Tayuya was already working her way into Naruto's free side, shucking her towel and tossing it away with a happy sigh. You owe me for dealing with prisoners today. Hi, want a back rub later? Absolutely. As the rest of the girls made their way into the waters, Amaru came to the edge of the pool. Don't want to intrude. Ino, having been caught up by Hinata over the radio earlier, pulled the girl into the water with a smile. Nonsense. Your family, so you're more than welcome. Come on, you can tell us all about what you've been up to, so long as it isn't too hard for you. We've got more than enough tales to keep you occupied for days. Kotohime giggles, that is putting it lightly. As the girls get to including Amaru into the fold and introducing her to everyone else who hadn't met her yet, Sakura grins Sasuke's way. You know Naruto, since you were gone Sasuke has been having to pick up your slack. Saving a princess, talking his way out of a conflict even, all he has left to do is start using large and flashing techniques and you both really will be brothers. Naruto grinned with her as they both leered at Sasuke. Oh ho. So you're trying to take my spot, are you? So should I become the broody silent type from now on? At his side Tayuya pinched him in the ribs and made him jump. I joke. No emo in this family. Tayuya mumbled as she relaxed further into his side. Sasuke however wasn't having it. Keep talking, I'll drown you if I have to. Think you have what it takes, bro. I know I do, bro. Sakura looked up into the heavens and shook her head. Oh Kami, not this again. A clone taking his place for Tayuya, Naruto was up in the same motion as Sasuke, one-on-one. I'll put you down. Sasuke was grinning as he flexed a lean muscled arm. I'd like to see you try it. He was not the talker type. That was Naruto. Sasuke was the cool and collected man of mystery and he would defend that title. The two come together and begin to wrestle, drawing attention from everyone there before they both disappeared under the water with a splash. Sakura sighed as she leaned into a giggling Hinata. Why do I feel like my boyfriend just got stolen away from me? Stifling her giggles but only just, Hinata shrugged and pulled Sakura towards the larger group of women. I've heard that the best male friendships sometimes make others question if the boys love each other too much or not. Watching on in awe, Amaru can't believe that her savior and a cage were wrestling like children in the bath next to her. Blinking once, she watched a towel fly off into the distance. Is this normal? Kayuki has settled into a nice and comfortable spot under a overhanging arc of bamboo, for us. Absolutely all the time. You'll get used to it. Floating over to the newly rescued Uzumaki, Karen offers her a cup and an option of sake or juice. After pouring the requested juice from her ornate jug, she motions to everything around them. Guess it's best to get you caught up on everything so far. Clan rebuilding. What we've accomplished with Uchiha so far, those kinds of things. As Amaru sat and listened, taking sips from her cup as Naruto's and Sasuke's laughter filled the air, finally settled down after Sakura threatened to pound them both, she considered what she wanted. The Uzumaki clan sounded amazing, and what they had accomplished so far was only the beginning. 4 nations directly under their control in Rice, Frost, Wave and Hot Spring. Mutual allies with Suna, Kiri, and Konoha. A growing capital city, so many plans and options. It was all a little overwhelming. But she sat, drank, and took it all in with quiet focus. This was her family. This could be home. Again her eyes drifted to the dark-haired man that saved her. Honoka had floated next to Karen, her closest sister wife of the lot. All in all, you can take your time. Relax and acclimate to the city and the family. You're free to do as you please really. We just want to see you happy and healthy. Honoka herself would like to see Amaru make a home for herself here with the rest of the clan. But as their numbers were growing, she knew that not everyone would want to stick around permanently. Why? Naruto's sister plans on traveling with her girlfriend for some time even. Amaru nods at that. I do have some other interests at the moment. But I would like to get to know you all, know my clan. Everyone turns to see Sasuke and Naruto, arm in arm and laughing about something, though they both now had a bottle of sake behind them on the ledge. Hinata picks up on the real concern easily enough. Well, something to think about. Sasuke most likely will be moving to Uchiha permanently as well. He and Naruto had made a promise to join their clans one way or another. Among other things, Itachi was a sore subject still, though Naruto had promised to update Sasuke about him next time they met. You might have some work to do. All eyes turned to Sakura, who seemed to freeze at being put on the spot for the moment. She in turn looked Amaru up and down, seeming to weigh what she wanted to say before shrugging. One of her dreams was helping Sasuke restore his clan. That certainly wouldn't happen with just her. It's not like you're trying to take Sasuke all for yourself. So if we can share, I'm alright with it. He's obviously the better choice of the two. We beg to differ. That all of the Foxton girls said so at once only slightly unnerved Sakura, but she grinned all the same. So, wanna explain the matching fox tattoos? They're cute. Ino chimed in, left hand coming up to caress her own tattoo along her right ribs. Let's introduce you to Foxton then, and a little project we have going on. Taking a break and passing their bottle back and forth with each other, Naruto and Sasuke watched as the group of girls seemed to huddle even closer together, hushed whispers and giggles filling the air that made them both shiver even though they were relaxed back down in the hot waters of the natural hot spring. Should we be worried, Sasuke? Nodding once as the bottle was passed back to him, Sasuke took a sip. The women are involved, sir, absolutely. Sasuke in particular was focused on his girlfriend, who now had a friendly arm slung over Amaru's shoulders. Think Sakura is going to get us back for all those times you and I teased her when we were starting out as a team. You're the last of your clan, it's not like she'll kill you. Naruto flatly ignored the glare Sasuke sent his way as he leaned back and looked up into the darkening sky. Well, not intentionally anyway. Honestly, you should have expected this eventually. I suggest big meals and energy drinks. Grumbling as he settled in next to his best friend and brother, Sasuke nodded. I did, eventually to me meant a few years. I'm not you. Sighing and taking another sip of the sweet drink, Sasuke handed the bottle back to a suddenly tired-looking Naruto. One love interest is more than enough. Agreed. Both boys fist bumped before lowering into the water to their necks. Naruto idly watching the first stars beginning to appear in the sky. I swear the girls are taking bets on who can make me collapse from exhaustion first. It's not like I planned on having everyone together like this. Overhearing him, Hinata looked at him from over her shoulder. Stop being so yourself and saving damsels in distress left and right, and things like this won't happen. It's hard work vetting all your potential love interests. Karen pokes her in the boob. Let's not forget who got into a fight with May and really sealed the deal with her. Moo, Karen, we're not supposed to talk about that. Puffing out her cheeks while some of the others laugh, Hinata splashes some water the glasses-wearing girl's way. Turning towards her boys, Sakura points at the blonde. Please tell me you aren't really courting the Mizukage. It's not like that. Really. Karen leans in with a grin. It's absolutely like that. Pouting as the group of girls laugh and return to their conversations, Naruto slumps. It's not fair. Sasuke nods and agrees. Price of being Kage and a clan heir, I guess. You gotta keep me sane through all this, Sasuke. You, Jugo and Neji are the closest male friends I have. Hey, so long as you do the same for me, buddy. Sasuke slumps with Naruto as they both go back to stargazing. They sit in silence for a short while as Sasuke's mind meanders on topics before settling on something important. Say, can you help with moving the Uchiha compound? Absolutely, anytime. I just need you and a team of clones to map things out. And you'll need to decide where you want to move to. Either near the city or on one of the smaller islands. Huh. Sasuke turned to look at his friend. Where are the Uzumaki staying currently? Naruto sat up a bit straighter, lowering his voice to a hushed whisper. About that. We've been living in the Uzumaki Tower. The upper levels are a mansion. But I've been secretly building a clan compound on an island not far from here actually. It's a surprise for the girls. I wanted to give our future family more room to grow. Tazuna had been thrilled and had nearly completely designed the place all by himself. Liberal clone usage was making construction a quick thing, however. Sasuke takes that news in before a quiet grin grows on his face. Say, is there room for another clan on this island? Seeing Naruto grin and nod, Sasuke got to planning with him as they decided to make this move as soon as possible to hopefully surprise the girls. On the other side of the barrier, listening to the happy voices and laughter from the Uzumaki and Uchiha group, Kakashi and Shizune leaned into each other with happy sighs. Enjoying a much smaller and more intimate room and bath, Kakashi gave thanks that today got to see his team whole again and his family complete. He honestly couldn't ask for more and hoped that this peace could last. Next to him, Shizune trailed a finger down his chest. You're in a good mood. Wanna share the secret? Smiling and leaning down to kiss the dark-haired woman on the lips, Kakashi wiggled his eyebrows. I'll get right on that. Life was good indeed. B. Enjoying a full week relaxing, planning and generally being teenagers with too much free time, Team 7 with Shizune were back in Konoha. Standing before Tsunade and giving their report of what had transpired and the destruction of the land of Sky Fortress, they were also describing some of the dealings with Uchiha as well. That included Sasuke's and Sakura's intention to move. Taking it all in and at least noting that the team seemed to be in better spirits, Tsunade finally sighed as they finished up and sat waiting for her reply. Every day she wondered if she could bring back Sarutobi and beat some sense into the old man. So, what's the game plan then? Konoha's going to lose the Uchiha as well then. Shizune had been in very high spirits as well when she had returned, nearly dancing to her desk to return to her work. She was sure to be hearing all about how great Uchiha was later on from her subordinate. Maybe that would put her in a good mood before dealing with the council. Sakura and Sasuke looked to each other before Sakura nodded to him. Sasuke turned coal-black eyes to the elder with something that looked a lot like understanding. Understand, Lady Hokage, between the dealings with the Uzumaki, and now our own information of what Konoha did with the Uchiha, there's no chance I could stay here. The third ordered the destruction of my clan, and Danzo took it one step further and harvested everyone he could with a Sharingan eye. I can't let that go. Ever. Best thing we can do is go our separate ways and hope for the best. Kakashi saw Tsunade looking his way and shook his head. We've had this talk extensively among ourselves. Reasoned with it from every angle. And they can't see any way for the Uchiha to stay in Konoha any longer. Kakashi was fighting between the home he knew and his students. But they all assured him that no matter what he was always their sensei and they bore him no grudge. He had lost more than enough as well after all. And with some coaxing from Sakura and Shizune, well, the condos in Uchiha weren't all that badly priced. Sighing and seeing this was a battle long lost, Tsunade nods and leans back in her chair. All right. I won't press the issue. Sasuke being clan head of the Uchiha makes it so I can't really argue with him about it regardless. Her eyes trailed to her rather motivated apprentice. I guess I'm losing you as well. Nodding, Sakura grinned sadly. Sorry sensei, but I have goals of my own to complete. Waving the girl off, Tsunade instead tossed her 3 rather thick scrolls. Don't apologize yet, you still have some time to go before you catch up to me. So you better continue your work. Winking at the girl, Tsunade turned to Sasuke. I'll call a council meeting in a day or 2 to announce the Uchiha's intentions. You'll need to be there. Here she leveled hard eyes towards him. I repeat, you need to be there. Don't make me come drag you from whatever hot spring Naruto sticks you in. Chuckling and knowing that that was exactly his and Naruto's plan when they had finalized the deal, Sasuke rubbed the back of his neck. Yeah, I'll be there. Gave him and Naruto time to move the compound at least. Hiashi will more than likely be happy about this. Makes room for the Hyuga to officially be the oldest clan here. Like that asshole needs a bigger stick in his rear. Tsunade grumbled as she shuffled papers on her desk. Just do me a favor. Seeing the 3 ninja before her straighten a bit, she smiled softly. Take care of yourselves, will you? Sakura smiles, of course. Besides, this isn't goodbye. We're still gonna convince you to come and retire in Uchiha one day soon. She had plans after all, big ones. Heaving another heavy sigh, Tsunade finally waves the team away. Go on. You're dismissed. Report back to me tomorrow morning. I'll have the council meeting scheduled by then. Seeing the team salute her and walk out, Tsunade turns to look out over her village. Yet another sacrifice I'm forced to bear. And a heavy one it was. Walking out of Tsunade's office, Sasuke turned to their team leader, "So, should we go and get some food or?" Shizune was already pulling Kakashi away. "Sorry, but I need him for a little bit. You don't mind, do you?" Sakura shook her head quickly and started pushing Sasuke through the office full of people who were giving the group bemused looks. "Not at all, we'll see you around, senpai." And then they were alone, easily making their way out of the tower and out into the village proper. Soaking in the early afternoon sun, Sakura links her arm with one of Sasuke's and they walk along towards his home. "This is nice." "It is." Sasuke looked around at the happy faces around them. Konoha was a peaceful place where the civilians were allowed much more freedom than some of the other villages, Uchiha not counted among them. "Think you'll miss it?" After some thought, Sakura shook her head. "I'll miss certain people. My parents, the Konohamaru brats, some of the hospital staff. But the village is just a place. What's important, I'll always have that with me." Sasuke nods as he entwines his fingers into hers, holding her hand tightly. "I get it. Besides, not like we won't be able to visit. Konoha isn't going to war with Uchiha anytime soon. More like ever. Naruto would flatten this village in an instant." Sakura waves to a happy-looking Anko, dragging a tired-looking Iruka along though he was smirking himself. "Besides, he likes having Konoha around. I think he likes messing with the council and stealing away Tsunade whenever he wants." Sasuke shakes his head as Udon and Mogi race along without Konohamaru. "Strange that. I think he likes reminding her he can kick her ass whenever he wants. We really gotta convince Hinata and the others to rein him in." Fat chance of that. Sasuke knew better. Controlling Naruto was like trying to stop a rampaging Biju. It could be done, but there would be a lot of fire and death involved. The pair walked along, taking in the sights and pointing out several spots within the village that they either remembered fondly or hoped to forget. Naruto's rebuilt apartment sat waiting for a new tenant, no one willing to move in there even now. The bridge crossing over one of the few rivers running through the village where they used to meet up as a team. They waved to Chuki as they passed his ramen shop, the evening rush just beginning. And as they walked, they held each other and thought of what the future could hold. A bigger city, a path towards true peace in their lands, and a new start for the both of them. Together. Making their way finally to the Uchiha compound and away from the crowds and hustle and bustle of the village center, here Sakura pulled free a Hiraishin tag and added chakra to it. In a quick flash there appeared Naruto between them, grinning in his usual black and orange attire though his jacket now reached his ankles. One hand in his pocket, the other saluted his team. "Yo." Sasuke shook his head and looked out over the empty district. "Welcome to the Uchiha ward. Population us." Chuckling though he noticed both Sakura and Naruto seemed more somber, Sasuke sobered up and started walking. "Come on, you can spread clones along the walls while I bring you to where there's something really important." Naruto did as he asked, making dozens of clones that ran off to complete their work before falling into step on Sasuke's right side while Sakura walked on his left. As they walked, Sasuke took in his clan's home and relived memories. It's weird to think that once upon a time this used to be so lively a place. Full of laughter and love and just humanity. And now, it's been nothing but a graveyard since that day, since my brother and Konoha decided the threat of the Uchiha was too great a danger to bear. Thankful that his friends were willing to let him talk and vent, Sasuke took a steadying breath and continued, "That there's a chance we can bring that back. Bring life back to my home, even if it's just little by little, I'm happy with that." Smiling as Sakura squeezed his hand in a show of support, Sasuke turned to look at the oddly quiet Naruto. "Just don't go filling the place with crazy explosion using Uzumaki children right away, will you? Keep that to your home." Naruto chuckled and walked with both hands in his pockets. "I'll just have to corrupt your children with the beauty that is explosions then." Accepting the light punch to the shoulder, Naruto looked as the buildings gave way to a temple of some sorts. By his guess they were close to the center of the compound, maybe off by just a bit. "Where are we?" "The Naka Shrine, where our elders would meet to discuss clan politics, among other things." Sasuke led him on, ascending the steps and leading him inside, past the entryway and deeper inside to where the secret basement opening was located. Seventh tatami on the right, mumbling to himself, he followed his own directions and removed a tatami mat to reveal a trap door that he easily opened after removing himself from Sakura's warm embrace. Probably one of the best kept secrets of the Uchiha clan. It wasn't until well after the massacre and running into Itachi again that I found this place. Leading the way down into the dark and dimly lit basement, Sasuke lit torches with low-level fire jutsu as they walked, Sakura and Naruto close behind. And it wasn't until I unlocked the next level of my Sharingan that I could finally read what was down here. Though bits and pieces are still hidden to me. Here Naruto snapped his fingers as they came upon a stone tablet that appeared much like a gravestone. Eyes shifting into the Rinnegan, Naruto grinned, I remember this. Sighing and nodding, Sasuke stood next to Naruto as they both looked down at the Uchiha tablet. I'm going to assume that your Rinnegan is able to read this writing in its complete form. Naruto nods, reading what he can and comparing it to what the Uzumaki text said. I can. Is this why Naruto left me Danzo? Most likely. Should I wonder why Naruto knew about this place? Naruto shrugged at that, because even he didn't have an answer for that one. His and Naruto's memories weren't the best from that time. Probably tortured out of Danzo. Maybe. Hopefully. In any case, what I've been able to read from this doesn't paint a great picture. Sasuke stood in silence for a time to allow Naruto to read on his own in silence. Sakura stood off to the side, waiting patiently as the tablet looked like nothing more than random squiggles to her. Naruto, however, was beginning to frown. Odd. Naruto pointed at a section towards the middle. In the Uzumaki text, our history is pretty much the same, except for here. How so? That was perking Sasuke's interests. Yours says that the Uchiha will be saved by the infinite Tsukuyomi, which I have to say does not match up with the Uzumaki text. Naruto's face turns grim as he wonders what the difference means. Who was being manipulated here? The Uzumaki or the Uchiha? For what it's worth, the Mangekyo can read most of the tablet, but not all. And considering how my family ended up, I wouldn't put it past someone tampering with the stone in order to get the result they wanted. But why? Naruto continues to read before eventually sighing, at the least, your texts have a name I've been missing. Whose? The progenitor of chakra, the true progenitor at that. Kaguya. That the Uchiha tablet mentions her at all is interesting. More like someone left it on purpose. But why wouldn't the Uzumaki name her specifically like this? Sasuke is now set to thinking about the problem they faced. So what? Someone has been tampering with our historical texts then. Which is the truth? The Uchiha or the Uzumaki? Sakura chimed in now, book brain in full swing. There's a chance both texts have portions of the full history of ninjutsu, just two halves of a story. Naruto nods and points at her, that's possible. We know that someone has been manipulating the Uchiha after all, and someone wanted the Uzumaki completely wiped out as well. Seeing Sakura's confused look while Sasuke continued to frown down at the tablet, Naruto spelled it out a bit clearer. Someone worked their hardest to get the Uchiha isolated, and then shunned, and finally executed as a clan, leaving behind only a few living members. But the clan is functionally dead at the moment. The same with the Uzumaki. Isolated, shunned, and executed in mass. That so many of us got away was probably both luck and some preparation. Sighing, Naruto turned away from the tablet. Why would someone want our clans out of the picture though? You texts depict the Tsukuyomi as the Uchiha's last hope, while the Uzumaki texts warn against the end of the world. Sasuke turns away as well, having spent hours before poring over these texts backwards and forwards. That the Uchiha could be saved by any single technique is ludicrous. It would negate all of our hard work and achievements towards rebuilding ourselves up until now. Even if that's just myself and my brother. And why would my clan be willing to overthrow the Konoha leadership if they had something like this in the wings? I think you're correct, something is all wrong with this. Naruto nods, as Sasuke starts to lead the way back to the surface. Naruto does make clones to include this area in the transportation seal. None of it makes sense. Your texts also include information about someone named Madara and recreating the Rinnegan using a combination of Senju and Uchiha cells. It's like someone is leaving a roadmap towards something, not actually saving the Uchiha. Sasuke has to agree, the portion about Madara striking a chord within him. Why would the text have information about his clan's greatest member, or most infamous depending on who you talk to? In the end, this temple must come with us. Tablet and all. This information is important. Leaving the temple and coming back to the surface, they all stand and stare back at the imposing space as Naruto returns his hands to his pockets while his mind races with ideas and new knowledge, piecing together a puzzle that was still just out of reach. I don't know what's coming, but it's bigger than anything we've dealt with so far. Sasuke nods, turning to face his friend. You won't do anything reckless without us, right? Of course not. Naruto turned and fist bumped Sasuke while accepting a hug from Sakura. Give me a day or two, but we'll transport the compound and then you'll be full-time Uchiha ninja. Naruto winked at him. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, you crazy kids. Laughing as he flashed away, trusting his clones to finish his work, Sasuke and Sakura were left alone on the street. Sakura leaned into Sasuke. That gives us pretty much everything we can get up to, including threatening the council. Still tempt to do that. Please don't. I'd like to come visit my family from time to time. Even if I hate the council as well. Sakura sighs and leans into him, looking up as the sky begins to darken and evening sets in. I know this was hard. Do you need to talk about it? Shaking his head and taking a deep breath, Sasuke puts an arm around her waist and pulls her into him. No. I might have doubted at first if this was the correct thing to do, but now I know. For sure. This is the best course of action. If Naruto and I are correct and someone is trying to manipulate us, the first thing to do is to come together and pool information and resources. Understand just what that path is leading us towards. He smiled down to the stronger than she looked Kunoichi. Besides, I have you to keep me on my path. You won't let the ghosts of the past pull me backwards, will you? Of course not. Turning to hug him fully, Sakura sighs in his arms. I'll always be here, to beat some sense into you. It was going to be a long few days, but at least they were moving finally. Naruto settled back into paperwork and cage duties with relative ease after a week of caring exclusively for his wives and helping Sasuke and Sakura move to Uchiha full-time. Dispersing his workload to lower functionaries while focusing on approvals and reports that specifically needed his eyes, he was finding that being more efficient with his work was freeing up his day tremendously. Of course, that only gave the girls more time to try and weasel information out of him. He hadn't told them about his latest project on the small island between Izu's main island, the Fortress Island, and the Yuki district. But they were starting to get suspicious all the same. Every morning he left to making literally thousands of clones, and every morning they were worried about his being a little low on chakra because of that. Hopefully they would forgive him for the secrecy. Maybe. Today as he sat in his office while off to the side Sasuke and Sakura lounged about and adjusted to the new city life. Both now proudly wearing Uzu headbands, Naruto could only smirk and mentally tick off another goal of his as complete. Still planning on getting that monster woman here as well. You know it, partner. She's going to break your spine in half when she finds out you're poaching her ninja. She'll get over it. I have a villa built all for her with enough sake to get even Gamabunta drunk. Your funeral. Shaking his head as Kurama faded back in his mind, Naruto signed a paper allocating more resources to the ninja port and put it in his outbox. Sakura was reading through the Uzumaki texts while Sasuke lazed about with a more normal book, though even he was beginning to get bored. Somehow I expected you to be blowing up your paperwork or screwing off to get ramen by now. I can be serious, ya no. Sakura snorted, not looking up from where she was reading. Forgive me, whose usual mantra for solving problems is more explosives. Sasuke nodded, pointing a finger at the sour blonde, or at the least, I'd expected one of the girls to be in here serving you lunch in a bikini. Naruto considered that one, why hadn't he thought of that, maybe tomorrow. Karen would absolutely make it happen. Hinata too actually. I'm surprised you haven't gone to explore the city today, finally tired out. Nah, just wanted to relax a bit today. Sakura and Sasuke had taken Naruto up on his offer to stay with him and his family until things were complete and finished. The idea of boating to and from the Uchiha compound every morning wasn't necessarily a good one. Plus the Uzumaki mansion had plenty of room, and thick walls. Besides, seeing you actually focus is new. Sakura did love having new information after all. Everyone acts like I can't be serious or sneaky. I'm going to have to fix that one day. Sasuke chuckled and went back to his book. I don't think any of us have seen you do sneaky. I can be sneaky. Like a rhino in a china shop maybe. Everyone paused as Naruto's intercom buzzed alive, Naruto hitting the button to answer it. What's up, Hinata? Patrol Team 3 is here. Send them. Waiting and watching his door open, a team of 3 ninja came in. All members of the Hotaru clan, Naruto waited for them to come before his desk. Anything new? The leader, a long brown-haired woman in her 20s, shook her head. No sir, Northern Islands are quiet, no movement at the former Summon Research Lab, though volcanic activity has restarted. She handed over her report to him and bowed. Any other orders, sir? Naruto shook his head as he flicked the report into a cubby on the wall with ease. Nope, take your mandatory day off and relax a little. You're dismissed. Yuwell, Lord Uzumaki. Performing a smart 180, the team was back out of the office and on their way while an exasperated Naruto grumbled under his breath. I keep telling 'em, it's Naruto. Naruto. Is that so hard? Oh quit your whining you big baby, you're a cage. People just want to show you the proper respect. Sakura piped up without looking up again. I'd prefer being informal. Going back to his paperwork, a new form requesting a team of low-level ninja for a demonstration at the academy. That was an easy approval at least. Stamping it and moving it to his outbox, his intercom buzzed again. Yup. Team 9 here, back from their frost escort. Hinata still seemed very chipper over the speaker. Lucky her. Send them. Naruto watched as a rough team of 3 ninja from the Tsunade clan walked in. 2 rather burly men following after a taller but fit woman with short cropped black hair. He'd need to see about getting some of the teams and clan mixed together like Neji's team. How's Frost doing? The team leader stepped forward, handing over a scroll with a wink. Gosu and the others primed them pretty well. They don't give us lip when we're there. But rebuilding efforts and aid are being distributed as requested. Though the Spring Ninja and some civilians have concerns about Frost refugees' continued health. Naruto nods and he quickly scans the report. Noted, I'll make sure to update Kyuki and maybe send another team with a specialist to see if we need to take action there. They're our allies now, no need to leave them to fend for themselves. Naruto looks up to them and grins. You know the drill, missions outside our borders mean 2 days off, mandatory. Tayuya will be very cross if you lot try to get around that, again. The Tsunade clan was very big on proving themselves, and tried their hardest to take multiple missions back to back. Tayuya had put her foot down a few times with hilarious results. Shuddering, the team all shook their heads quickly. No need for that. We'll rest and recuperate and report back in 2 days. Saluting him, they left the way they came without another word. Sasuke watched it all with a grin. Leadership is good for you. You handle it well. And wasn't that a surprise? Sure, he updated them with letters and popped in when he could, but being here full-time and witnessing it was a different thing altogether. Wish we could have been here for all of it. Don't get bummed out. You're here now, and you get to see all the crazy stuff from now on. Naruto didn't want to focus on what they had dragged their feet on in the past. There was a lot there. He wanted to focus on the future, making things better. Having a lot of fun throughout the whole process would be a nice bonus as well. Before any of them have any warning, his door bangs open, a grinning Kyuki and a more sedate Kotohime walk in, both focused on him while Hinata waves from her desk. Hello Lord Naruto. Kotohime was quick to lean against his desk while Kyuki came around to sit in his lap, interrupting his work. We have news for you. Kyuki giggled as Naruto tickled her lightly. We'll be leaving for Suna on the airship. I have negotiations for trade agreements I need to finalize in person. We wanted to give you a heads up. Naruto nodded as he held his daimyo wife. Maybe I should send a team with you. You know, for protection. Just in case. Kotohime shook her head, still smiling at his antics. You're such a worrywart. This is Suna, our ally. What do we have to worry about? Well, yeah okay maybe I worry too much. But better safe than sorry right? Kyuki looks up to the ceiling as she thinks about it before nodding resolutely once. Maybe one of the other girls can go with us. We don't need to take away a team that could be performing a mission after all. Plus they wanted to relax on this trip. Dealing with stuffy old men was always troublesome. Naruto thought about that one. Who would want to go though? Plus, that would just make him worry more. 2 of his wives who were pregnant, plus another wife. No. He had to remind himself that these women were all powerful and capable. They didn't need to be handheld like this. Fine, I give. Who do you want to take? Mentally cheering, Kiyuki makes a show of thinking about it. Karen would be a good fit. She's wanted some up-close time with the airships anyway. This would be a good opportunity. Naruto considered that it would get the girl out of the basement and hopefully not working so much. He still needed to break her of that habit. Okay, approved. Just be safe and keep a tag on you, okay? He accepted a kiss from Kiyuki easily with a smile. Don't do something I would do. Standing and coming back around his desk while Kotohime leaned forward to capture his lips with her own, Kiyuki chuckled, so no exploding old men or getting into fights with super-powered ninja. Got it. Kotohime stood and joined her sister wife. We'll be on our best behavior. Aha, and tell Gaara to come back and visit sometime. He needs some time away from that desert. Watching both women make their way out of his office with a smile on his face, he's only a little distracted by Sakura's giggles. What? You're so cute with them. It's like your personality changes. It was sweet, really. Naruto was so tender with them. Completely at odds with the berserker in battle he could be. I guess, things change. Naruto considered that. Things had been so easy, calm really, once he had settled in and most of the hard work was complete. Sure, they still had a lot way to go, but his life was so much better than it had been in Konoha. And now that his two closest friends were here, how could life get better? Before more time could pass and he could get comfortable back into his work, Hinata strolled in, followed by Fu and Naruto. Fu is humming a light tune while Naruto has her hands on her hips, a feral grin on her face. Oh man, you should see some of the stuff Isaribi has patrolling the Uchiha waters. It's crazy. Naruto nods. Yeah, I keep telling Karen and Honoka to stop making her new toys, but it's almost like they're making a contest out of it. Naruto's eyebrows raise as Hinata hands him a letter personally, wondering why she hadn't opened it. What's this? It was addressed specifically to him, odd. We checked it for traps and came up empty, so to you it went. Hinata and the others watched as Naruto opened it and read through the letter quickly. The silence stretched on for a few minutes until Naruto's shoulders began to shake. They began to worry as a dark chuckle began to leave his throat. Oh dear. What's this about Naruto? Naruto looked up and waved the letter in the air before them all. Myself and my sister have been requested specifically for a mission in the Land of Demons. The Land of Demons. Sasuke looked up as Sakura finally started paying attention to the conversation. Why did I just get a chill? Sakura grumbled, things are back to normal already. Who requested the mission? A head priestess Shion. Naruto hummed at that before he looked directly at Naruto who was grinning, ready for a road trip. Seeing her nod and high-five Fu, Naruto keyed his radio at his hip. Mr. 9 for Silken Fist, meet me at my office would ya? Over. Hearing an affirmative reply, Naruto returned to focusing on the room around him. Standing and stretching he turned to point at his team. What say you, wanna see the world? Sasuke grinned, can't miss whatever craziness you're about to get dragged into. We're in. Sakura nods, can't get rid of us so early, we just got here. Hinata however is worried about something else coming up soon. The Land of Demons is quite far. Don't forget, the summit is coming up. Naruto nods at that, mentally calculating how long it should take to get to the Land of Demons. Coming back would be easy with Hiraishin. We should just make it back in time. I'm thinking 2 weeks at the most. Naruto puts in her own thoughts, happy to get out of the tower, anything to not be cooped up here. It's nice and relaxed sure, but a girl's gotta stretch her legs ya know. Fu nods, I'll be right there with you. They had promised to travel together after all. Naruto shrugs, sure. Just keep it down would ya? I wanna be able to get some sleep this trip alright. Teasing the pair and causing Fu to blush. Naruto gives him the finger. What we do is our business. As loud as you are, you make it everyone's business. Naruto scored one for himself as Naruto blushed finally. Put up a silencing seal or something, you know how. Arg. Shut it. Just turn your ears off or something. I can't do that you idiot, they don't work that way. Sure they do. And only idiots call someone else an idiot. But you just called me an idiot you idiot. Moron. Dits. Fight me. Fine. Both twins came together and began to roll about on the floor in a mad frenzy of violence while everyone else watched on with mixtures of amused and ashamed looks. Sakura and Sasuke couldn't help but sigh, Sakura speaking up for both of them as the blonde pair rolled away from them. Great, now there's two of them. Fu looks on with wonder in her eyes. Is this how all siblings are? They're so passionate. Sasuke thinks on that one, well, my older brother tortured me into madness. Hinata thinks on that as well, coming to a grim conclusion, my younger sister hated me and would use full-powered juken on me during spars. All of them turned to the wrestling pair of Uzumaki knocking over chairs as they neared Naruto's weapon wall. Sakura heaves another sigh. Are they really the most normal siblings that we know of? Hinata raised a finger. What about the Subaku siblings? Sasuke sighed at that. Right. One of them was a crazed murder boy with a psychotic monster sealed in his gut, the older brother has a thing for makeup and dolls, and the sister is a super violent tsundere. Hinata thought some more on that before sighing. Point taken. From the doorway there's a low whistle and most eyes turn to see Tayuya relaxed but dressed for work. What did I miss? Up instantly and tossing his sister to Fu who scrambled to catch the surprised blonde, Naruto was grinning with his hands on his hips. You've got the chair for a little while. I've got a special mission to take on. Wait a minute. Tayuya wailed and came up to start poking him in the chest. You said you weren't going anywhere for a while. You said it yourself. Your lips. Seeing his eyes not changing, she pulled out her newest weapon. Pouting. Come on. You can't leave your newly pregnant wife all alone. You have to stay. Eyes wide and watery for full effect, Tayuya was not giving up without a fight. Rolling his eyes and sweeping Tayuya off her feet and into his arms in a princess carry, Naruto grinned and pecked her on the forehead. How about this? You hold down the fort while I'm gone, and when I return you get all the pampering and love you want. He leaned in to whisper in her ear, you know I'm good for it. Blushing as he whispered a bit more into her ear, too low for anyone else to hear. The redhead gave up the fight. He wouldn't leave if he didn't feel like he absolutely had to after all. Okay, fine. But you better hurry back. I'm sure Hinata warned you that the summit is coming up, and I am not attending that. Kissing the woman fully on the lips while Naruto gagged, Naruto let Tayuya down and thumped his chest with a fist. Don't worry, I won't be missing that summit for anything in the world. I have something to do there specifically after all. Sakura pumps a fist in the air. Road trip. Fu leans over to Naruto. She seems like fun. Naruto grins. You have no idea. Sliding up between Sasuke and Sakura, Naruto slings her arms over both of the teens' shoulders. We're all just bundles of fun, aren't we? Naruto sighs and prays that this isn't a sign of things to come. Please don't flirt with my friends. Flirting. I'm not flirting. Naruto grinned as she pulled Sasuke and Sakura closer, not yet at least. Sakura was blushing as she tried her best to get out of the surprisingly strong grip. I blame you, Naruto. That's fair. Naruto was the reason Naruto was around after all. Well, mostly. This was shaping up to be a long trip. B. Stumbling upon a cave system in the middle of nowhere, Riptide Team 1 has found the Akatsuki hideout where they believe Uchiha is being held. It had been days of tracking, chakra sensing, and some good old-fashioned luck, but here they were checking over their weapons and making sure they were as ready as they could be. They didn't know who they would be encountering inside after all. Jugo turned to Hotaru as Sasam unsealed her Kusarigama and checked the chain links for damage while Kin checked over her various senbon and ninja wire. Jugo was most of all worried for the fretting blonde. No matter what, if things go wrong you are to leave right away. Head for Uzushio, give them the code that we gave you, and you will be able to entreaty with Lord Uzumaki. Hotaru nods slowly. I'll do as you say, but let's not have it get to that. Her goal was to find her sensei, rescue him and leave as quickly as possible. Fighting wasn't on her to-do list if she could help it. Nodding and turning to take the lead, Jugo leads them into the rocky and humid cave. Dark save for a few torches every dozen meters or so. There are two chakra signatures ahead, one is weak, while the other is a bit odd. It's hard to place. Kin nods, so long as they're human I can liquefy their organs. Sasam shook her head, we really need to get you a different weapon. I think it's great. You sound like a sociopath. You sound like you need a new career. Jugo sighed and raised a fist, ready. Feeling more than seeing both girls nod, Jugo steps out into a large hollowed-out chamber. Most of the floor was flattened earth, no features save another entrance on the far side away from them. It was there, sitting patiently on the floor was a black-haired man in a black cloak with red clouds. A slashed Konoha headband rested on his head, and Jugo's heart rate spiked as he knew exactly who this was. Someone feared by even Orochimaru. Shit. Itachi opened his eyes slowly, looking up at the group before him. Uchiha. Interesting. Did Naruto send you? That would be an interesting development. Jugo shakes his head, body tense and ready for the first sign of hostility from the elder Uchiha. No. We received a request from a student worried about their master. Not something we could ignore after all. Itachi nodded at that. Big heart you have. Would be ashamed to crush it for something so trivial. Eyes hardening, Itachi pointed a finger towards the path they had entered from. Best advice. Leave. I'd hate to kill you over something so meaningless. Meaningless. My sensei's life isn't meaningless. Hotaru's anger burned hot, and she answered without even thinking about it. Suddenly she was very ready to fight with everything she had. Sighing heavily as if being great put out, Itachi lowers his hand to his side. I won't warn you again. You start this, and I will kill you. Jugo saw Kin and Sasam ready themselves and did the same. We will not abandon a mission that was given to us. That struck a chord with the older ninja, and Itachi finally actually focused on the group. Your mission, so be it. Just be aware, you're many years away from being even close to measuring up to me. And then his eyes shifted. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.